Hi, I'm Candy Evans, and this is Dallas Dirt. Today, we are in a beautiful new community a bit north of Dallas called Landmark. And I'm here with the folks from Hillwood Development who are developing Landmark, and we're going to tell you about everything that's going on up here. So Paige Austin is right here and Andrew Piper. And both of them are with Landmark, and they are working on this amazing property that encompasses 3,500 acres of land up here. We are like on the fringes of this exciting new development. And welcome to the show today, guys.
Yeah,
thank you
thank
so
you, Candy.
much.
Thank you.
So tell me about this land. It's so beautiful up here. And I know that the Perot's bought this in 1987, which is amazing vision.
Right.
But tell me about Pilot Knob and why it's called Pilot Knob and what you guys are doing up here.
Sure. So this property's been in the same 3 ownerships for the past 100+ years.
Wow, just great.
It's been meticulously maintained for recreational purposes, cattle purposes, etc. But one of the pinnacle aspects of the property is Pilot Knob, which is the second highest point in
Denton. Wow.
This was so well known and beloved by the city of Denton, and equally by us at Hillwood, that we actually agreed at the very onset that we would put Pilot Knob into a conservation easement. So this Pilot Knob, will be in conservation perpetuity. And once we develop in and around it, we'll open it up to the public and it'll be available to hike and bike and explore. There's a lot of folklore around Pilot Knob, a lot of stories about hidden treasure and gold and hideouts. Yeah, there's a lot there. So really neat history and stories associated with Pilot Knob. But it was a beacon, a wayfinder for early settlers, for pilots. And so, really became a landmark in this region. And that's really ultimately how we came upon the name Landmark.
I think it's exciting to talk about the fact that we have 3,500 acres here, but almost a third is going to be preserved as your...
Right. And with a property this size, that we can only build so much at a time. So we're going to develop in phases. As we open new phases, we'll open up new pieces of the property. But yes, in time, about 1,100 acres will be open space. They'll be intertwined from lowlands to the uplands and everything in between. There'll be trails connecting everything, both natural and paved, and just really unparalleled access to nature. What you see out here is really more reminiscent of what I think of like hill country and outside of Austin than North Texas, which we're used to kind of a more flat terrain. There's really nothing like this in North Texas.
No, and I did notice the hills as I came up here.
Yeah.
They're beautiful. There are bluffs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We've got some incredible lots available out here to purchase. We really have these great, strong connections between our lowlands and our uplands. And so we consider really every home as a trailhead. And so you can come out your home, get on the street, and be to an open space or a park within, 5 minutes.
So is this the first planned community in the Denton area?
This is the first large-scale master plan community.
Yeah.
There's really nothing to date of this size and scale.
Me too.
On top of the 6,000 planned single-family homes, we have about 900 acres of retail, office, hospitality, entertainment.
And you did tell me a little dirt here earlier that there are a lot of people wanting to get into this corridor, a lot of retailers.
With the rooftops that we're supporting with our developments come commercial demand. And so we've had incredible success to our south with our Harvest and Pecan Square communities.
Harvest has been beautiful.
Just incredible award-winning communities. Pecan Square was a Master Plan Community of the Year nationally, so we're very proud of our track record in this corridor. And we've taken really all the things we've learned from Harvest and Pecan Square and applied them here to...
Well, Hillwood does it right because you've had 40 years. And Paige, you are doing the marketing for a Landmark, correct?
Well, it's building the lifestyle.
So it's not really, it's like she's the lifestyle expert, which is another thing that's a little bit unusual. There are not many, communities that actually have a full-time lifestyle person your job is to make sure that the living is comfortable and fun and exciting. And tell us about that.
Yeah, I help people make their next best friend, right? So it's not just about events, but it really is the culture. So we create the culture of the community where people want to know their neighbor, where they want to do life together. And it starts with the lifestyle manager, kind of the heartbeat of the community, setting that example. So, because when you go to a neighborhood, people typically just pull in their driveway and they go in their garage and go inside. It doesn't just happen. You don't just walk into neighborhoods like Harvest and Pecan Square and see people interacting and doing life together. That doesn't typically naturally happen. And so you have to have someone on site to do that, to kind of cast that vision, to set the stage, to walk the walk. It takes a lot of time, authenticity, transparency, right? To do that kind of, to bring life into a community
You're
like
truly
this.
from the Love Boat.
I had been called the cruise ship director. And what's fun about this particular project, so we it's not a cookie cutter program, right? It's really taking what the community wants, the owners who are living here, interests. It's also tying into the city that we're part of, because we want to build that city pride here in Landmark as well. And so bringing in local artists, bringing in local musicians from Denton, being Denton first is very important. And then this nature that we've been talking about, we hired a director of wellness and nature to add to the lifestyle program here to help people get comfortable being in nature. Not everyone's comfortable going on a trail where there's animals and bugs. And so how can we, not just saying, hey, we've got trails, go hike, how can we get people out there? How can we get people to embrace it? And so this director, we call her Ranger Amy.
Ranger Amy.
She is going to have guided walks, guided trails, educational programs. So every stage of life can really get away from their computer screens and their phones and embrace the nature. And so we want to make sure that people get to maximize that by having Ranger Amy and having that program.
In addition to you doing like all these programs, you actually have another full-time person who is just in charge of incorporating nature into the community.
Just Texas master naturalist. I mean, she's an expert. It's not just someone who likes to be outdoors. Yeah. So we wanted someone who actually understands it, who knows it, who loves it, who is certified and can really add that, bring that value.
I think families would love that.
Yeah.
We're already hearing that from the people who bought here. We asked, I try to meet them as they sign their paperwork. What drew you to Landmark? Why do you want to live here? And overwhelmingly, it was the nature and the connection and kind of getting back to the basics of life when you could just go outside. You know, normally kids come home, they go inside, they play their computers. But when we were kids, we went outside, rode our bike. And so we want to get back to that.
Yes.
And so I think our lifestyle programming working hand in hand, I think that's going to make that happen here.
That's great. And that's what I know I hear from buyers they want. They want to go to a place where they can not have to worry about their kiddos, where they know they're safe. And apparently you're going to have 3 schools here at some point when you're built out?
Yeah, so we're in Denton ISD. Okay. We're great partners. We've worked with them in other communities and built several schools. We have our first elementary school identified here in our second phase upcoming. And then, we should have probably another second elementary and possibly a middle school as well. For us, having schools integrated in the community, there's nothing better.
So who's buying here? Tell me the people. Are they from Dallas? Are they from California? I think California, Illinois, and Ohio are the 3 biggest feeder states to Texas of buyers.
So traditionally, we've seen across our portfolio about 20% of our buyers are from out of state. After COVID, we saw a lot of flight from the coast. So California, the Northeast, Midwest. So that's certainly a core component. But then demographic-wise, it's really a wide variety. So we get a lot of the barbell type demographics. So we get a lot of first-time home buyers, young families, but then we also get a lot of retirees, move downs, more of the lock and leave, and really everything in between. So, in our world of master planning, the more segmentations we can offer and the more demographics that we can hit, the better. And I think what shows too in the mixture of our population, it's more enriching when you have a wide variety of ages and family types. It just makes it
more rich. You tell me, Paige, about some of these programs. Let's get into some specifics.
Yeah. Our first homeowner doesn't move in, though, until the end of June. I was lifestyle manager at Harvest for 11 years before I moved here. So,
you've got lots of experience.
So the programming, so as I get to know the homeowners, that's how it kind of builds our programming. We do have things, so live music is already on the schedule. Lots of live music. Guided hikes and doing some programming like that. Mixology classes, kids painting classes. So I've already started some fall planning with events like that, but it's really going to get to know, like, what do you want to see here? What kind of events do you want? I've already progressive dinners. We want to do a progressive dinner.
That's a great way to get the community together,
right?
And they get to see each other's houses.
That's right.
See their decorating.
That's right.
That's a great.
Paige does a great job of kind of organizing these groups, and then once they're organized, they really start to take off.
Yeah.
So it's really laying the groundwork up front early, which Paige is great at, and then these groups just flourish.
And then bringing in these local businesses from Denton to help enrich our programming. And then making sure there's something for every season of life. So the kids who are home during the day, the stay-at-home moms maybe, or the grandparents who watch the kids. We do Landmark Littles. where the kids get some socialization, the adults get some adult conversation. We do a 55 plus group. So it's just them and program that feels tailored to them.
Yeah.
And then we have families and obviously every event, there's something for everyone.
Yeah.
So, and the way you lay out an event is very strategic too. Putting the live music and adult beverages and the food trucks here, putting the kids stuff kind of out here. So if you don't have children, you can still come, listen to the live music, enjoy the event. So I try to make sure they're all laid out properly.
There's a science to it.
Yeah, there's a science to it. And making sure your calendar, when you're looking at holistic, do I have something for every stage of life on it? That's something I look at before I finalize an event calendar. Is there something for everyone on this calendar?
And I think what's really great about Paige's program is our charity and give back. And so we've aligned ourselves across the Metroplex and all of our communities with the food banks. And so many of Paige's events are tied to the food bank, giving back and either donating money or time or food to the local.
And that's a Hillwood legacy, correct?
Sure.
Yes.
And we try to partner with just one because it helps. There's so many great worthy causes out there. But then you're only making a little dent versus making a really big impact in one area. And that's why we choose one kind of philanthropic arm. And the way we do it is very interactive. We had our teen council create a Hoops for Hunger tournament. Maybe it's a trail run, just trying to find something creative. But it's not just about donating money. It's finding creative ways to do that, to make people want to give back and get involved. And then go volunteer at the food shelter so they understand and see where their money's going. And then education, because people think, I was one of them, that people who don't have money to eat live on the poor side of the area when it's not the case. A husband could lose their job and now they're food insecure. And they could be living in the house next door to you. And so kind of helping educate people what food insecurity looks like and why we do what we do.
And speaking of different levels, I believe you've told me that they're going to start at the 300 plus, high 300s is your kind of entry level home.
Yeah, I could not be more thrilled with our builder lineup here at Landmark. We at Hillwood Communities have been operating for 35 plus years. We have great relationships with builders here locally. We think we've got the best lineup in the Metroplex with 9 home builders, some public, some private, but great partnerships. We have 10 model homes. Our smallest lot size is what we call a 40-foot wide lot, which just has an alley access. And then we go to a 45-foot front entry access, 50-foot front, 60-foot front, 70-foot front, and then 70-foot rear. And our entry price point is about $360,000.
Which is about the average price of a home in Texas.
That would be around 1,700 square feet, 1 story, 2 bedrooms. So a great price point to enter the community. And then we're going all the way up to close to $1 million.
3,600 square feet. How large will those lots be?
Yeah, they're 70 by 135. Very good size, well pointed. So we've got a great lineup. Our model homes are just about all open now, and so we're encouraging everyone to come out and take a look and find something you like.
Have a progressive look, right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you're getting into the affordability, because that's obviously something that's very important in our country. Is there just are not enough affordable homes for folks. And it looks like you guys are doing your best. And I'm telling you, they're beautiful too. We are sitting in one of them, and we're going to be showing you this Highland home. Yes, it's a beautiful home. The cabinetry is gorgeous and the layout is splendid.
Yeah, and I think we're trying to hit multiple different segments, from an entry price point to move up and so on. But just as much as we're trying to hit a price point on the lower end of the spectrum, we're also hitting a really great segment on high end as well. Denton needs a lot of housing, but that includes executive housing too. So there's really, again, something for everybody here, and we encourage everyone to come out.
The idea that we are on the same parallel as Frisco. So as you're thinking about where Landmark is kind of on the map, just imagine Frisco north of Dallas. Landmark is north of Fort Worth, which is a growing community. And I have so much faith in Fort Worth.
And we're the southern gateway into Denton. So, what a great opportunity for us to again, partner with Denton. We think there's a lot of opportunities to align ourselves with Denton and find through lines in the arts and culture and history, and really want to encourage local businesses, artisans to come down to Landmark. And, we want to be part of the fabric of Denton, not just on an island in the southwest corner.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your timeline, though, because you're just starting now. You've got the model homes you're selling now. Dirt is turning. Yes. Is this phase 1, phase 2, phase 3?
Yeah. So phase 1, well, first of all, we bought the land in the 80s. So
I know.
It's been sitting fallow for many, many years. And I remember starting and looking at Hunter Ranch at the time. It was called
Hunter
Shanty.
Ranch.
I was thinking, when are we going to get there?
Yeah.
And then a couple of years ago, it just kind of hit us with the growth.
The growth.
That, hey, we need to kind of get ready. And so back in, I called 1819, we really started working with the city on infrastructure, planning, zoning, things like that. We accomplished that in 2020. We ended up breaking ground on our first phase of single family land, 750 lots in the fall of 24. And so we finished our lots in end of 25, and we sold our lots to our home builders. And now they've started building their homes, got model homes open. We expect our first residents to move in this summer, probably June or July. And once we're up and running, we'll have 10, 20, 30 families moving in every month.
Well, with 9 builders, you're going to have activity here. It's going to get.
That's right. 50 lots, 9 builders. Each builder has 70 plus homes, opportunities. We're already working on our second phase. As soon as you deliver one phase, you've got to keep your eye on the next phase. And so our second phase is teeing up nicely. It'll be an extension of phase 1.
Okay. And where is that? North, south of here?
It'll be in the north and west. It'll be a continuation of the existing product offerings we have in phase 1. It'll include the elementary school. And then we also have a planned fire station, a planned city park.
Wow.
Really a lot of great opportunities.
Just like a whole community. Well, thank you so much for having us out here. I do know that there is a store that is coming this way. One of those. I'm getting one. HEB. And when are they opening?
Yeah. As developers of single family land, we're usually out first, and we've got to create the demand with our rooftops. And then, retail typically follows. In this case, with the just exponential growth in this corridor, we're a little bit behind on commercial. And so now we're having commercial activity really on the end of our projects before we even deliver. And so we were just thrilled that HEB chose Landmark to be a flagship here in this Denton County corridor.
It'd be right off of 35.
So they're at 35 and Robeson Ranch Road.
Wow.
That's right.
And it'll be one of the largest stores up here in North Texas. They're under construction now. They're vertical, and they expect to open, early 27. So again, what a great amenity for our residents. You really won't have to leave the community.
Well, and Central Market, HEB, they don't go to communities where there's no development. Let me tell you, they have done their homework and their research, and they know what's coming. So this is exciting. I'm so glad to be here. I want to come back. I want to follow you guys grow. And I think it's really being done well. And I'm so excited to be able to present this to our readers and our viewers. So thank you.
Thanks for coming. We're very, very proud of the work we've done. Again, our track record in this corridor.
And when
Thank you, Candy.
day, and we look forward to talking with you some more about Landmark.
Sounds great.
This is Candy Evans again. Thank you for being with us. We kind of went a little bit away from the studio this time, but I think it was totally worth it to come up to this beautiful community just north of Dallas, just on the other side of Denton, and a little bit north of Fort Worth. And it is going to be one to watch, and we're going to be watching it. So thank you and stay tuned.